Hi, and thank you for listening to Dream 10X Radio, where we interview people attempting to live extraordinary lives. Our twofold purpose is to both direct and inspire people bold enough to do the same. Dream 10X. Face your fears and make your life count. Hey, welcome to Dream 10X. It's your boy JC. This is episode 52, and I'm here with, introduce yourself,
Dr. Cable,
and our illustrious guest, Jaime Rubini.
Hello.
We're trying to make him as uncomfortable as possible in this chair, so our questioning will be...
Sure, it's very comfortable. Feeling good. All right, guys.
So before we talk about who Jaime Rubini is and why he's here, I just wanted to recap that this is our 52nd episode. And as we've discussed in all of our podcasts up to now, we wanted to do 52 episodes, and we wanted to do it in 1 year, and it's taken us a little over 2 years, and here we are with our 52 episodes, and we've actually talked to a person. And as we've talked about in many of our episodes, I'm an introvert, and Cindy's an introvert too, but as a programmer, software engineer, I've always wanted to kind of get out of my shell a little bit and not be as comfortable sitting behind a computer, and wanted to talk more to people and see how they actually live their lives.
See how they respond.
And get out of my comfort zone a little bit. So I think we've done a pretty good job of that. The first episode, we talked to Evelyn Grace, who's my daughter. She was a rising senior in high school. She's now a sophomore at Virginia Tech. Mm-hmm. We've talked to Steve, Liz, Vaughn, Aiden, and Aiden Jordan.
Yes.
And since we've talked to them, they have moved on. The son, Vaughn, has joined the Navy.
Yep. He just finished boot camp a couple months ago.
And Aiden is now looking at the Coast Guard. He wants to join the Coast Guard. Yep. We have talked to national team canoeist and paddler Pam Boatler, who is a big proponent for women actually paddling in the Olympics. I didn't know that women could not paddle in the Olympics as a canoeist. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Well, she's a big proponent for that.
Yeah.
And now women can actually participate in the Olympics in canoeing. We talked to MIT aeronautical engineer Jaime Byron. Do you know Jaime?
Yeah.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Sorry. You're Jaime. Jamie Byron. Yes, thank you.
Spells the same, huh?
Spells the same.
Spells the same.
We talked to Jamie.
Yeah.
It was good talking to him.
He's a great
Entrepreneur, naturalist, and aeronautical engineer. We've talked to Senior Director of Engineering at Google, David Renson. Mm-hmm. We've talked to a tattooist, political aspirant, and entrepreneur, Kelly Green. We have talked to a family of ciderists at Buskey Cider out of Richmond, Virginia,
really
learning how they develop cider in their business. We've talked to Dr. Sarah Kessens, who's an ocean rower. She's a PhD in molecular and cell biology and an aspiring astronaut, and our dog is going crazy, so you just got to take care of him. She's out of Christchurch, New Zealand. We've talked to mountain biker and extreme athlete Gretchen Reeves, who is a participant in Amazon Prime's Echo Challenge Fiji. Did you watch that at all? No? Okay. But her team was in that competition. It was really interesting to talk to her. We've talked to sailor, photographer, entrepreneur, artisan, and adventurer Nick Jaffe, who lives in Australia. We've talked to Chris Hopkinson, who's local. I think he lives in Maryland, who paddled the entire Chesapeake Bay, north to south, trying to raise awareness for oyster health in the Chesapeake Bay. Nice. And now he's furloughed that into a race. He has a SUP paddleboard race every year in the Chesapeake Bay. We talked to multi-hull pioneer Jim Brown, who is an avid sailor, of course, a boat designer. He's an entertaining author, and he lives down in Matthews, Virginia. We loved really talking about Jim, and I often wonder how he's doing. I need to touch base with him. Karen Way, who is the CEO of Avoca, and she's a rancher at Avoca Farm in Paris, Virginia. We talked to her. We talked to Brandon T. Adams, who's an entrepreneur, author, and investor in Orlando, Florida. And finally, we talked to global entrepreneur Jeff Hoffman, who was one of the key leaders and one of the key people who started Priceline.com. And that was also in Orlando in Florida. And so today, for our 52nd episode, we are here talking with Jaime Rubini. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure having you. So context, how do I know Jaime? I don't really know. I see you every morning at like 4:30 in the morning.
I see you
for rowing practice. We say hi and we mumble and we go about our practice. And it's been like that since I don't know, since I started rowing at Alexandria Community Rowing.
Then?
So 2008, something like that.
Yeah.
So for
10,
a long
years.
time.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
And I thought, it'd be a good time to now learn more about you and to pick your brain about
Introverts!
I guess we'll learn about each other. Huh?
and you're Cindy's coach on the sweep team
Yeah.
at Alexandria Community Rowing. And so we just wanted to find out a little bit more about your upbringing, how you got into rowing, how you got into, I guess, entrepreneurship, running your own business in Old Town Alexandria, and just sharing a little bit about your lifestyle and how that all came to being. So if you don't mind just starting out, where you come from? Where were you born? What's your family?
In Lima, Peru.
Lima?
Yeah.
Okay.
1950.
1950.
Yeah. July 1950. Right in the middle of that year. July 15, 1950.
Lima, Peru.
Yeah, Lima, Peru. And I did family not into rowing or anything like that as far as I knew. Yeah. Later on, I learned, like I was telling you, that my grandfather had row for
1906.
1906.
Your grandfather rowed.
Yeah, but
so what was the body of water there in Lima, Peru?
Lima is we row actually in the ocean, in the what they call the Cima, in the point of Lima that is called Callao. It's a seaport. And we row around the freights and the big freight boats coming into that's where the calmest water is there. So there is a big the espigón that we're talking about, the jetty. There's a big jetty that they have developed over there, and it's a huge jetty. There are two jetties, so the big shipping just comes into a very flat water protected by these jetties, and the boathouse are over here, and the waves actually are coming directly toward the club. So when you come out of the water and you start putting in the water, you have the swells of the waves that they're breaking a little bit later.
So rowing on the Potomac is like nothing to you.
It's a breeze. It's it's a very challenging breeze. There's too many other, things going on in the Potomac that you don't get in the ocean. But it's still, the saltwater ocean rowing. It's very interesting. Very, you sort of get the hang of the waves when you are racing, because you have to race right along the shore, and you go with the swells and the movement of the water, and fishing boats. Many fishing boats and the freights.
Interesting.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know you started rowing. So was this in high school? When did you start rowing?
No, actually, I didn't row in high school. I wanted to, but I was honestly I was intimidated by the size of the guys that were loading up on the bus, and I was just looking at them, and I was just like, this was a military school that I went to, and it was military, and these guys were older, and they would want to beat the shit out of me. I don't know. You don't. I didn't mix with those guys. I should have probably, but I didn't get it until I finished high school, and then I was invited to join the club. So, and the club that I joined was the Regatta Lima, which is one of the finest clubs that I've ever seen in my life.
Finest in what way?
It's the funnest, it's the most wholesome club it has everything you can imagine.
So you're talking about the people, or you're talking about the facilities?
Facilities, people. That's one of the things that was very catchy right away about rowing. It was when you went out there, you went out you went out and did the formation, you did warm up exercises and so on. Everybody was the same. Everybody is you're number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it was, no one was like, I'm the governor, I'm the I'm the sweeper or whatever. Everybody was the same, and that was one of the things that probably I was like very attracted to it. That we were equals, and we just look at each other as all we're equal, and it was all about now let's get on competition and get the stroke right, get it down.
So how tall are you? How tall were you?
I'm very tall. I'm like 5'10". I was taller, bro.
I was gonna say, how tall are you then?
I was 5'11", bro. In my dreams. Nah, I'm probably 5'10". I've been 5'10".
Oh, awesome. And so that didn't. So that was a limiting factor for you for a while, but then you were like,
it was fine.
Okay.
In Peru, I was fine, and then in Peru, I was my size. Probably I had other good things about my rowing that not necessarily everything was about. I would say not everything is about size.
Right.
In rowing.
Now that's a t-shirt.
That is a t-shirt.
You please got that.
Done.
So
That goes in.
So did you start rowing? You started rowing after college?
No, I never went to college.
High school, I meant.
After
Started
high
rowing
school.
After high school. And you
Yeah.
weren't in college at the time. You just joined this club and
Yeah,
Okay.
I tried. No,
Okay.
I never did. Went to college.
Awesome.
Yeah. No,
So-
I don't know. It could have been all being awesome, all going to college also. I don't know.
Yeah.
I study of life.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the way
you
it should be.
Yeah.
So what else were you doing at the time?
Starting to get into college.
Were you really?
Oh, trying to anyway. That was the idea, right? That was the Of course, you live in a city that is it's right on the ocean. It's a lot of things going on now because the weather is doesn't get too cold, and it gets nice and warm in the summer, but it's just a play, year round thing. Yes.
It's like, is there a family business that you're working in, or what'd you do?
The family business, I did not work for the family business. The family business is a vineyard and wines.
Ah, okay.
I did
Okay.
not. My dad worked there. My
Okay.
several uncles and but no, I never really, I did went from time to time during the year to the farm and spent time there, but I never really got into the farming or the manufacturing of the wines or being what do you call these guys? An enologist.
Yeah.
And they really never got into it.
So that's what your dad was doing?
Yeah.
Your family? Okay.
Yeah.
Is this the Pisco place?
The Pisco,
Yeah.
wines,
Yeah.
champagne.
Oh, wow.
It was it was the full spectrum in the wine industry. That was till 1971, which is when the things started changing really bad when that guy militaries took over, and I was not happy, and I decided that I was going to pursue my rowing in the United States.
Yay!
And so off I came to the United States, in a student lengua.
Language?
Language visa.
How many years after your high school did you row there before you came to the United States?
Well, how many years? What?
Like, so after high school, you started rowing at this club. Like, how long was that? What was that?
I probably did it until 71. I was off and on. You know, it wasn't not a full year round per se participation in the rowing. I mean, we had seasons. We had to. We had off seasons and on seasons, so we started preparing.
Because it was cold, or
no? Basically, it was hot.
Year round? Is
Well, no. During the summertime, we will take off. It was just the way they had it. So they start preparing us before nationals. You know, so we go there 3 months or something like that, or 4 months before nationals. And then we'll go to nationals, or if it was Pan Am Games.
Wait. So you're thinking already at this level about Pan Am game competition?
Yeah.
And national competition?
Well, national was every year that we had nationals there.
But you're already thinking. You're already.
No, you get in there. You were thinking or not thinking. You were signed in by the coach, and that's.
The coach told you were.
Yeah.
Okay.
You row for the club, so the basic.
That was expected of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
that's interesting.
So right away, you know, I think in my first year, I right away I was competing at the lower level, you know, but yeah.
No, okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah. So you start as what they call a cadet, I think, intermediate, and then you have the seniors.
Wow.
It's pretty much like they used to have it here in the States in those days. Because I remember I row here in the singles, I row intermediate, seniors, and I think they had elites also.
Nice.
I think they had elite. They used to call it elite in those days.
So when you started rowing, how'd you do? Like,
I did okay. I pair with coxswain was my favorite boat. That was
pair with coxswain.
Yeah, that was my training boat, my everyday boat, and we did pretty well. We were it. We were the head shit.
So you had a natural talent for it.
It was, we were good. I mean, it was a good feeling. It was a moving boat, and but that was not the boat that the coach decided to take to the Pan Am Games.
Okay.
Because of size. That's the way he put it.
That's the only reason.
He put it that they're gonna. Jaime, you just don't understand the size of these other clubs out there, I mean, you're okay here, but so I was willing to prove it to him, but I never got the opportunity. But that was okay. I got to go to the Pan Am Games in the 4, and it was not on my choice, but that's the way. And it was in Cali, Colombia, and it was fun. It was fun, and fun it was. Because that was it. No, terrible.
Oh.
It was all about the trip and the fun, and just going there, and that was it. That was that's what they wanted, I guess. But we went there.
Huh.
It was the time of it was a single scholar from Argentina. I always remember it was Alberto Di Midi was his name, and Di Midi was a world champion, and that was the highlight of my trip there.
Wow.
Watching him and how he prepared before the race, and and then later on I met him when I was coaching here in the States. I met him and in the summertime because he was coaching some Argentinian kids, some club in Argentina, and they were coming here for the Philadelphia for the 4th of July regatta. So
wow,
he was still smoking.
Wow.
No way. Oh.
That is so interesting.
Still smoking, yeah.
That is so interesting because I had a college coach who rowed a single in the Berlin Olympics.
Yeah.
And he smoked like a chimney.
I can't imagine.
Bert?
Huh?
Who was that, Bert?
No, Herr Durgan was his name.
Durgan?
Durgan.
Yeah,
You ever heard of
these
him?
are achievements. You know, he was in the Olympics and the
I think it was Berlin when the Olympics was
The
in
Berlin?
Berlin. I think it might have been 30s or 60s. I don't know, something like that.
32.
No, I don't think it was that long ago. I think it was 50s or 60s. I don't know.
In
I don't
Berlin.
remember.
Oh, okay. No, there was the other one when they won the that was 32, 36, 40. Oh, anyway, yeah. So
Interesting.
yeah, Alberto Di Mira, yeah, he's passed now, but he was a beautiful. He wasn't tall. He wasn't a big guy.
Yeah.
We we're pretty much about the same. Maybe he was 1 inch taller, but I mean he was very fine, very tremendous finesse. That was all about it. He was his finesse was what really got him up there. He was very very a fine rower. Yeah.
Who were the coaches at the time that really impacted you? Do you remember their names or anything? And what was it about?
Well,
the coaches at the time?
the guy in Peru, the guy that I like, his approach and his coaching was Federico Calmet. Actually, he was Peruvian, and then when I came to the States, I was coached by a Romanian lady.
Romanian.
Anna Thomas, and she was very incisive. She was very totally dedicated, and she was very positive, and she was very influential. Yeah.
So when you came to the States, where did you go? Where was it?
I finally arrived to Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, and that's where I was rowing.
And what brought you to Philadelphia?
It's funny that you ask.
A woman?
This guy, no, it was rowing actually. It
Yeah?
was this guy in Peru. He mentioned to me, if you're going to the States to row, look for Vesper Boat Club in Philly and talk to Jack Kelly.
Oh, wow.
Talk to
Did
Jack
you know
Kelly.
Jack Kelly?
I didn't know Jack Kelly.
Oh.
I didn't know
Did you
Jack
meet
Kelly.
him?
I met him.
No kidding.
Yeah, I met Jack.
Holy
And,
crap.
He was I arrived to Philly, and I was hitchhiking, and when I arrived to Philly, my English was very poor. I mean, poorer than what it is right now. But it was interesting. This guy, he picked me up, Bob Agren. If you ever watched this, Bob, thank you again. They were really
Bob Agren.
Agren. He picked me up from the highway and took me to his house. And the next morning,
Just some random guy picked you up. What?
that's the beauty of the thing, I mean, I was blown away by the people, here in this country. They were so good. Anyways,
That's a different country.
Yeah, it is.
he picks me up. He picks me up in New Jersey. He said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Philadelphia." "Where?" "Boathouse." Vesper. So he drives by the bridge, and he said, "That's the Boathouse Row." "Which club?" "Vesper." "Vesper." "Okay, well, it's dark now. Let's go. I take you to my house." So he took me to his house. In his house, he has this similar to this chair.
Yeah.
Similar to this chair, but right here he had a leather emblem, a leather like a crest,
Oh wow.
and it's the Peruvian crest.
No.
Yes. So
Holy
I'm
cow.
like, do you know what this is? He said, yeah, some random chair, that I pick up. Anyways, it was interesting from then on. So Bob, he left the keys with a note, help yourself.
Wow. Wow.
Good luck finding your club. Maybe we'll see you. Maybe I'll see you. Maybe I know.
Don't steal my stuff.
Don't take my chair. Is that what you said?
Don't steal my stuff. Whatever.
Don't take the chair. So
Wow.
I went over and I walked to the boat houses and I checked on Vesper, and I noticed that the club distribution, it was the boats downstairs, and then they had like a living room or gathering place and so on, and then upstairs they had the living room with the kitchen, and the beds, the bunk beds, bunk beds with, and then there was a kitchen area with a table there, and with, of course, a cat. Vesper was his name. Vesper, yeah. So I decided I went back to the house, spent the night there. I tried to help as much as I could around the house and all that. The next day I ran over downtown because I got the address for Jack Kelly now, and Jack Kelly was on Cherry Street building.
Oh, wow.
In the original brick building there. There's probably, yes, it still stands there. Yeah, everything else is high rises and new buildings. But I remember the secretary says, "Do you have an appointment?" I said, "No appointment. Came to see Mr. Kelly." So he, she just sort of, let me see if he's in there. So I walk in. She said,
What was he at this? I thought he was like a bricklayer.
No, Jack was, so I walk into the office, and Jack Kelly is like this. Jack Kelly is like that, and he's sitting on his Peruvian leather chair.
What?
No, I'm kidding that. Anyways, he's wiggling his thumbs there, and he says, "So, who are you?" I told him, and he said, "Why you come to see me?" And I told him that this friend in Peru, he had a role with him, and in Syracuse, I think it was Syracuse University. That's where Ivan Divos from Peru had gone to school. And he said, "So what do you want to do?" I said, "I want to row." "Have you sculled before?" I said, "No." "And you want to join my scull group, and you never scull?" "Right." I said.
Sounds like you.
And he said, "Do you? If you find a bed, it's yours."
Nice.
And I said, "I already got it." So then, of course,
What was he in charge of Vesper or something?
well, he pretty much owned Vesper.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't know that.
he was Vesper's owner.
Oh, okay.
His dad was the bricklayer. His dad was the
Okay.
Irish.
Okay.
His dad had been the Irish
okay.
immigrant.
Yeah.
And his dad was the bricklayer, and he tried to run the Henley, and they say
It's
no,
unfair advantage.
no. They
Yeah.
say no
Yeah.
because you are low.
Manual labor is
You're-
unfair advantage.
No advantage. You are low life. You are a bricklayer.
So it was
This
status.
is only
I thought it was an unfair
Wow,
advantage
that's
because he did manual labor with his hands. And
no.
No?
It was all because he was a bricklayer, and this is only for the gentry.
Damn.
So Jack Kelly, John B. Kelly, he became the Olympic, the U.S. Olympian to represent the United States and so on, and he competed, and his son Jack, and then of course John B. became a millionaire. He in the brick building, in the brick industry, and when Jack was of age to row and so on, he put his name on the Henley, and they could not say no
Yeah.
because he was
Interesting.
a Gentile.
Oh,
Wow.
gentry.
You know,
Wow.
so that was and he won.
Good.
His dad, Jack.
Yeah.
Jack did. So when I went to meet with the coach with Anna and so on, she was with this guy Bill Connect, and Bill Connect was buddy with Jack. They were the same prom. They were buddy, and Jack and Connect. Bill Connect had been in the Olympic game, the one in 1964, the gold medal for the United States, the first 8 gold medal, and then the second one was later on when Coach Staley was coaching the U.S. But so right away I met Bill, and he's just a down to earth guy, no problem, and Anna, just like I said, she was very influential, very nice lady, and they showed me the boats and so on. I started going out and sculling and flipping and doing the things that we do in the water there, but but that was in the fall. So the winter came, and we started training now for winter conditioning and so on, all through the winter. And another very influential guy was the Irish champion, Sean Drea. He was also part of the crew of scullers that we were training together that winter there. And he was a hell of a very influential guy also in my life, Sean Drea. He rode a Henley, and I think he was second the first year. He was in the final, and he thinks that they was not a very fair race. But then the next year he came back and he kicked ass there.
Yes, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's slapping his boat.
Yeah.
He didn't, he stayed with the boat the whole time.
Yeah.
He didn't leave it alone. Yeah, that's what he told me. He said, I slept with my boat. All right,
I understand that.
Shit, what happened in those days. But anyways, and then of course there were a bunch of other guys that were rowing there in Vesper. The Vespoli was there. Wills, the Dreisaitl brothers were rowing there. These were with the sweep team. We were in the sculling with Anna.
Why did you choose sculling? I mean, if you were...
I don't want to say my size, but I had very little English, and I thought that probably probably my size. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So you thought you had a better chance.
I had a better
because
chance
you're-
to succeed by myself, and of course we did the double, many doubles, different partners and so on. I had several partners. Chuck, I don't remember you, Chuck.
Chuck.
Chuck, yes. But we had great rows. Cortez was another guy. Sinclair also arrived there.
All these guys were fighting for bunks in the boathouse?
No. As a matter of fact, I stayed for a while with at Vesper until I met Sean. And Sean,
The guy sleeping in the boat?
Sean was, I don't know where the hell he was sleeping. But the Irish guy came, and we started to train and all that together. And one day he says, hey, how would you like to have your own veteran and come and live with me in my house? So I was like, where is it? he said, it's not too far from here. You know, it's Nottingham Parish. I remember it was Nottingham Parish. So he took me over there, and it was pretty dilapidated neighborhood. You know, I think he took me to the house where they were selling the property, and he bought it for $300 right there in cash.
Wow.
So it didn't have electricity. It did not have water, sewer, toilets.
Holy cow.
It had a broken door. You know, it was in a very
Hey, what, was he trying to charge you rent?
no. Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
He's looking for company?
He is looking for company. He's looking for a good company, you know. So like a good Irishman. You know.
Never trusted Irish.
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
I'll tell
You
you.
know Tom Daly, right?
So he did all kinds of odd jobs. He will do anything he will go around there, and people ask him to whatever, paint the door, or change the toilets, or work on plumbing, fix the floors. He was on it. So I started working. I can't remember how did I get the job? Through Connect. Could be Connect.
Is that a person?
Connect. Bill Connect.
Bill
Connect had that. His family is from New Jersey, and they own that company that was called air conditioners and pipe fittings. Pipe fitters and air conditioner Connect. It was a big, huge corporation there.
And how did he fit in this?
He was in charge of in Vesper Boat Club. He was in charge of the scholars. And
As a coach, or
no, as a member of the club, he was overseeing the whole, what was going on there. And as a matter of fact, he probably was in charge also of the sweeping group, because in the sweeping they have this guy Rosenberg. No, it was Rosenberg. I think it was Dietrich. He was the coach for them, and he was a German for the sweepers. And Vesper just got the Romanian lady there that year. It was her first year also. But Connect was he was also sort of owner, and his son was Danny was 15 years old, but he was like a 6'2" or 6'3" or something like that, and he wanted him in. So he's, we were learning together the sculling.
Okay, so this Connect guy was like money.
He was money,
and helping.
And also, like I said, he was he had a row in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And won the gold medal in the 8
Yeah.
with actually when Rosenberg was the coach.
Oh wow.
With Alan Rosenberg. I don't know if you.
I know Alan
You know,
Rosenberg. I
Alan
know of
Rosenberg.
Alan Rosenberg. He was the coach then?
He was the coach at 1964 U.S. national team.
I didn't think he was that old.
He was a coach. I didn't say he was an old coach.
He must have been
He was a much younger coach. I don't know. Obviously, he had been a coxswain, coming out of some college or something, and he had done the national team probably and so on. I really don't know much about his.
So he was in Vesper at the time, because he was coaching on the
He was not in Vesper.
Oh.
He was not in Vesper. He got the national team together, a bunch of guys there from wherever he picked them up. I don't know, but they probably trained in Syracuse, because that was a big training center for a long time in Syracuse. Like, just like nowadays, you see the national team training in Florida, they're in California, they're training here in Princeton, so they're all over the place. They train wherever they the seasonal sort of a thing, or they have kids, they have clinics here, they have, clinics over there, so they really, it's like a traveling team, Some kids can afford it, a lot of them, they don't.
Okay, so speaking of affording it, so you're rowing at Vesper. What did you do to buy food, and what, were you working?
What was
your income?
I got a job working in a restaurant, the 2601, and that's right on the parkway, right in front of the museum. And I got a job there, and
You're a waiter?
I was a bus boy.
Oh wow, that's rough.
I believe before that was later on. Before that, I find me a job. I apply in one of those buildings behind. This is the museum. This is the 2601, and this is Fairmont Avenue, and all those pretty places we see right now on this avenue, and the penitentiary is right here.
Oh my gosh.
So right behind there, in this Italian neighborhood, they used to have these buildings, 3, 4, 5-floor buildings, and I got me a job as a bus boy. No, excuse me, bundle boy.
Bundle boy.
I was a bundle boy.
What does that mean?
A bundle boy. A bundle boy is a boy.
It sounds very naughty.
I did a bundle boy for a while. I walked into this building, and they told me, well, you start on the 3rd floor. So I will go to the 3rd floor, and there were these seamstresses there. So, they say, okay, you got to move those bundles. You got to move them to the next floor, or you got to move them to that other end of the room because somebody finished sewing the sleeves. They need the collar, or whatever. I mean, I didn't work.
So it was like
I just had to
line
move.
of-
I just had to move bundles from one seamstress to the other one. So there were all these seamstresses.
All day long.
All day long. They were sewing their life away, and I was bundling them.
So you would row in the morning?
We were rowing in the afternoon.
Only rowing in the
Oh,
afternoon?
we were rowing only in the afternoons, and that was it for in the right away fall. And then in the winter, we were doing also in the afternoon. At that time, we were only doing it once a day.
Okay, so you bundle boy.
I bundle boy, man.
And you have to work, you go row.
So, and later on, I got a job. Somehow I got a job on this restaurant, and that was very good because that gave me instant food. And, and also enough food to pick up for my buddy Andrea.
Oh,
because we already have moved to that beautiful, what do you call chateau over there in 19th and Parish and Street, and I will take food for that guy, and he managed to go down the basement and connect the electricity.
Yes.
He also bootlegged the water somehow, so we had water. We had no toilets yet,
Oh, what'd you do?
Holy.
Oh wow.
You gotta poke it in.
Yeah. You gotta aim just
Precision,
right too.
precision.
Precision bombing.
We just, down to earth, man, Until he did a job.
Wow, I gotta see a picture of this place.
Yeah, he did a job, and then all of a sudden he showed up with this toilet. This used toilet, but it still was a toilet that he
Put it in the
brought.
hole.
So what was your dream at this time? You're going through all this pain. You're living in a crappy place.
It was no pain. It was beautiful. I mean, it was so enlightening and lively. And,
How old were you?
21, 22.
Oh
Okay.
wow, yeah,
Just
that's a good age.
starting out your life.
It was
independent.
absolutely.
But what was your dream? Like, why? What did you?
Just keep on rowing and
And that's it. You just wanted to row. That was it.
Yeah, there was no money.
No Olympic gold.
Yeah. It was all about the rowing, getting to the Olympics.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your dream,
sorry.
right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta have an objective to go through that pain.
It was all, you know, but the,
What did you want? Like
But the
single
leaving-
skulls or quad, or did you care? Like double?
Oh, which boat?
Yeah.
We trained in singles.
No, but what did you want? What did you want to do? What was your dream?
We single.
Single skull.
Yeah. A single. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's all about you, and you know, I mean.
And how are you stacking up at the time? Like, what were your?
Pretty good. I was doing pretty well. I won my division, my intermediate national.
Wow,
So
that's amazing.
And then the other regattas that we had around there, I don't think we had races or anything like that. But I was coming along, and all injury that I had already it came back one day.
Oh.
What was
yeah.
it? What's it?
It was the knee. It was
Knee?
the left knee. Yeah.
No kidding.
I lost the sensitivity on my leg. I just went numb.
No.
I just went
Oh,
numb.
no.
It just went. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
It went away. I don't know what happened. It was.
Pinched nerve.
I don't know. I went to the doctor, and the doctors were very hesitant. You know, for a while I had to use the
A cane?
the helpers.
A walker?
The ¿cómo call it? The muleta.
Oh, crutches.
The crutches, yeah. They had to use the crutches for a while, and because I couldn't feel it. I
Yeah.
mean, it was no.
Oh, it
feeling.
just went.
It just went.
permanently
that's
numb. It wouldn't come back.
terrifying.
It went. No, not even just a pain there. No, it went like I couldn't.
Wow.
It was like what?
Yeah.
So, anyways, that eventually, little by little, it started coming back, the feeling, and I started walking, but a pain is starting to occur now on the knee. And, you know, I mean, seeing the doctors were like, you know, they didn't have the MRIs or
Yeah,
sophisticated, they had the x-rays, and they like, well, we're not sure. I mean, it could be something there, but if we have to get in there. But if we cut, then we
We're gonna dig around in there until we find something.
Yeah.
yeah. And so they decided, well, see how you do, and then you know. So the pain remained there, but I lived with it, and then I continue. I row, and the next year was my
Well, wait. Did it come back magically, or what?
What? The feeling?
The feeling.
The feeling come back. The feeling
What
come
did
back.
you do to make it come back? What was it?
Just
over-
you know, some exercises, some physical therapy, and so
Yeah.
on, and little by little start coming back, and
Okay.
the feeling come back, and I could withstand.
Interesting.
Yeah, the pain was still there for years. I had the pain. Now it's gone.
Interesting.
But I wrote my senior year in my senior what do you call the group, you know, you finish intermediate, you move on to the next level, the senior level, and we had the nationals that year in Camden,
New Jersey?
New Jersey, yeah, and it was coming pretty nicely, and I thought I had him, and all of a sudden this guy from Mexico just beat me by a second, and
No.
yeah,
Ouch.
right at the end.
So it was second place to somebody
Ooh.
from Mexico.
Somebody from Mexico.
Yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah. Mexico.
How could somebody from Lima lose to somebody?
And beat all the rest of the gringos. You know, where is this country going to?
Oh man.
So, we
How does Mexico put together a rowing team? That's so funny.
Mexico has a great, actually, a tradition of rowing.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. They
Of ocean
as
or
a,
flat water?
No, flat water. They have, as a matter of fact, they build for their Olympics. They build, they call it a pool, an Olympic site in Xochimilco, which is not too far from Mexico City.
Okay.
But it's just like, say, Sarasota,
Yeah.
but in Mexico.
Wow.
You know, so they really care about it, and they every year I see the Mexican team with the coaches, and a huge contention of people, coaches and kids come over every year for the 4th of July regatta and the Independence Day, and they used to come for nationals because they compete in nationals, the United States nationals.
Yeah.
It's open to anybody
Yeah.
who wants to participate, which is the nice thing about it.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
thought it was just American.
Yeah, no, they might not give them the medal if they win, you know, if they're rowing as Mexico.
Yeah.
But you know, they are they
I
are
didn't know that.
invited. Yeah, they are.
Were they
invited
at
to
nationals this
participate.
year?
I don't think so.
No international teams.
I didn't
No,
see any.
I don't remember in the well. I cannot say. I don't think so.
I didn't see
I didn't
any.
see any.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I really haven't. We see very little. Even we see more nowadays of rowing in the YouTube or
Yeah,
one of those
true.
channels because of the technology. I think we're seeing more and more of that. The obscure sports. you
Yeah.
know.
Which is nice that it's opening up,
Yeah.
and so people are aware
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it
yeah.
versus being just for the fancy
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, right. You know, just for the genteel.
Yes.
So fast forward us to what was the top of your rowing experience? So you just lost to somebody from Mexico by a
Yeah,
second.
but that was pretty tough up there. You know, I mean, I you know, of course, we crash him in the doubles. You know, we'll crash him. You know, and so on with some of the other guys.
You crashed?
Well, we'll win.
Crush.
Oh, crush! Oh, okay. In the doubles, all right. Okay.
Yeah, and in the quads also it was pretty consistent. That we were very strong there also.
Yeah.
But overall, I think my highlight was the senior in the single. Even in second place, it was a good fight. I mean, I will remember that race because it was like, you know,
One second.
it could have been
that's-
you know, a
You just
second,
didn't pull
half a
hard
second.
enough for that.
You know what? I think I shortened too much.
Knees to knees, Jaime. Knees to knees.
I shortened too much. That's why
Trying to
I
get the
think
rate
it
up.
was. You know, I tried
Yeah.
to get the rate up.
Yeah.
I went too short, and then
Ugh.
I started spinning instead of, you know, keeping a little bit length.
So as a short person, it's really hard. I find it's really hard to stay long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have that same issue, but like as a short person, I
Who's the
really-
coach here? Like,
Well, I'm trying to digest that. You know? I'm trying to see me. I think you have to, you know, as a short person.
Yeah.
I think you know you gotta stay long, but not too short.
Just right.
Just right in the middle. That's what I think that's, you know. Masters has been pretty good. Master Racing Masters, it has been quite a
where did that start for you?
um,
So you're in Vesper.
Yeah. When did,
yeah,
when did you
I
get into
left
jewelry?
Vesper. I went to Peru, and
You left
we
Vesper
went
and went back
to
to
Peru. Yes,
Yeah.
my then wife and I we went for a trip to Peru, and then we stayed for a couple of years there. Meanwhile, during that period of time, we had a baby. We had Joanna. You know,
She was born in Peru.
she was born here, but we were living in Peru.
Okay. Okay.
So she came back and delivered here, and then she went back, and we were living in Peru. And meanwhile, I was rowing, you know, back in the regatta, you know, in the Lima, and rowing for the club over there. And
Shooting for something or just fitness?
no, just fitness mainly. Yeah,
Okay.
it was fitness, but we were rowing the nationals, and you know, crushing. We were crashing, or cruising.
Yeah, crushing can.
Crushing. We're cruising. Orange crutch. Cruise. So we wrote. I wrote that for for during that period of time, off and on, and and then I totally went away from rowing because when we came back to the States, we came back and we opened up a business of imports, and that was like handcrafts, and in the handcrafts there was jewelry and
Where are you living?
we were living in Alexandria. We arrived and we were partnering with my ex cousin, and he was in the jewelry business, and he sort of pointed, maybe Alexandria will be a good place to start our retail location. And so we came by and we rented a place about the Old Town Flower Shop on King Street.
Oh wow.
No kidding.
Yeah.
113 King,
No
on the
kidding.
second floor, and that's where I was because him and I, we didn't get along too well in business. We were fine as friends, but in business we had disagreements, so we split. And but we I stayed with the retail and bought him out, and we stayed there for a year on that location, and then I went to Creeley Warehouse for 4 years, I think, and then
You went to what?
Creeley Warehouse.
What was
It's a little shopping building with a couple of restaurants, like La Bergerie used to be there, or still there. I think
In Old Town?
yeah. I think
What? And you were doing what?
imports. I was
Oh,
doing
you were doing
imports.
the
I
same-
was still
same
in the
import
imports. I was selling,
Okay.
whatever, alpaca sweaters and little
Importing from Lima?
from Peru.
From Peru?
Yeah, Peru mainly.
Okay.
Yeah, I had, but also I had jewelry. But now the jewelry started.
And you
to
did
come
that
in.
because you had contacts in Peru?
I had contacts in Peru, and I started doing I started doing some gem and mineral shows with some guys from Argentina in the malls. So I will pack my car and drive off to a city, and put my wares out for sale in the middle of the mall there for 3 or 4 days, and then get out of there on
Oof.
Sunday.
Yeah, that's
so
rough.
It was rough. It was long hours. It was you open up at 10, you close at 10. So I did that for a while with this guy from Argentina, and he will go some location, but he will provide me also with some merchandise from Argentina, and it was fine because I had to, whatever I sell, I give him his part, and I kept the other my profits.
How was life for you at that time?
It was rough.
Stressful?
It
Like,
was
so-
very stressful.
So you're worried about that income and
everything.
making a living with your family and Joanna
Everything.
being the baby and
Every day. We had Lauren now.
Oh yeah.
So,
Lauren
yeah.
was born, the second year. They're like a year and a half apart. So yeah, we had Lauren.
so you weren't even thinking about rowing or anything at that
Oh,
time.
no. Lauren,
It's just-
I open at 10, I close at 10.
Yeah.
You were trying to survive, yeah. Yeah.
I open at 10, I close at 10, and Sundays almost the same. It was from 10 to 6
Uh-huh.
Sundays. So yeah, no, rowing was not in my life.
Yeah.
Later on, Christopher was born in 83. In 89, the girls, the two daughters, went to start rowing at TC. So once they start rowing at TC, I will try to, go watch them and so on. But of course, I always watching the store because I missed a lot of the races and all that. I went to very few of the races.
Was D. Campbell a rowing
Yeah.
center then?
He was the
Did the
coach.
rowing center exist?
Not in the beginning. Later on, in when was it? When was that thing built?
I think it was in the 80s, mid to late 80s.
84, 85,
Something
I
like
think
that.
it was when the boathouse was built.
So they weren't rowing out of there?
They row out of there. They row. Joanna, I think, row. I want to say 1 or 2 years, because they were training there. They train and I think Joanna rowed there for 2 years. Lauren rowed there longer.
Wow.
That's interesting. I didn't know they rowed
Yeah.
for TC Williams.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, both of them, they were rowing together there. As a matter of fact, they were invited to row when Lauren was a freshman, right, or freshman to sophomore, and Joanna was already a junior. They were invited to row at the Junior Olympic, something Olympic, Junior Olympic camps. Yes, and they took him and they rowed him in. I think they went to LA and rowed some dirty channels or something like that. They were telling me.
That's fantastic.
And then, but they did very well. They did very well that year. And the next year, they were invited to go to the junior national team.
Wow.
And what they wanted was, they wanted them to keep rowing because they were going to take them. It was going to be in Indianapolis. So from Indianapolis, they were going to take him, if they were selected. No, they were going to take him from Indianapolis to a selection camp.
Okay.
And then they will go to the Worlds. So, they were, that's when we asked D to, if he could, coach him, and he coached him in the pair.
Really?
In the straight pair. So we'll take him out every day, and we'll go out in the pair and we'll coach him.
Wow.
Well, he'll coach him. I was driving the lunch for D. But but that was they come back and they went to Indianapolis. They won their regatta, their event, and from there they took him to the Worlds, and both of them made the team.
No kidding.
That was pretty, quite a highlight, and that was in Montreal. And
Wow.
and I already had that was 80. Can't remember exactly the years.
Joanna graduated in 92 because she's the same age as me.
She's 92?
Yeah, she's the same age as me.
That's when she graduated?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And she rode with people that I used to row with at Brown.
so in 91,
Yeah.
so this was 92,
Yeah.
the Worlds, in Montreal. We can Google it. We could Google it.
It doesn't matter.
Well, the thing of the matter is that I already had the line, a little bit of the line of jewelry. So I remember, in order to see them, I took, to afford to go see them and so on. I took the jewelry and sell it, but when we sell it, they put us on the other side of the stadium. So
Were you making jewelry at the time too, or just selling it?
I was making jewelry.
You were making
already.
it at the time. Okay.
Yeah, I was already making jewelry. Yes, and the just to be quick about the jewelry making is I was in the store. After Creeley Warehouse.
Yeah.
I moved to the corner of Queen and Lee. Queen and Lee is where they have that paraphernalia now.
Yeah.
That was my corner.
Oh,
that
wow.
was my store. Right there in the corner.
I ruled that corner.
I ruled. I owned that corner. I had the option to buy it. And anyways, when I was there, I was a friend with this guy Pedro Petruska, and he was in a torpedo factory. And one day he was a lapidary dude that I like to go and see his work there from time to time.
Was that stone? Some kind of stone?
Yeah, he was a gem cutter.
Gem cutter.
So one day he stops by the shop and he said, "Hey Jaime, they're gonna be teaching some jewelry classes over there in that jewelry store over there on the shopping center." And I signed up and
Loved it.
loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Yeah.
So that's how you learned jewelry?
That's how I learned
And
jewelry.
Amazing.
that was in the
That's
torpedo
amazing.
factory?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't in the torpedo factory. Petrushka was in the torpedo factory, but he mentioned that it was in the jewelry store actually. So I went to that jewelry store. I think it was like once a week, and it was like 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock. But but I just loved it, and because people were already getting me, stuff to repair and so on. And for a while, I used to take him to this other guy that used to do repairs for me, and then the brother that worked for me, one day he comes by, he's visiting us, and he looked at, I said, "Look at this beautiful work this guy just did repairing this." He said, "You can do better." I was like, "I never even touched a torch. How do you know?" Anyways, that was very interesting. That he mentioned. He said to me, "You can do better than that." And anyways, later on,
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why did he say that?
I have no idea.
He saw potential in you.
He saw potential. He had faith in you for some reason.
No
What do you-
idea. Out of the blue, he said, "You can do better than that." And
Yeah.
I hadn't, never touched the torch.
Yeah.
I never, I was just, cleaning the jewelries and selling the sweaters and the stuff.
And you had an eye for gems, obviously, too, because you did the gems. that you
Yeah,
sold,
well,
so-
I was learning about gems and all that, but it's funny that he mentioned that, and that stayed in my mind.
Yeah.
That totally stayed in my mind. But then when I went to over there to that school, I mean, the guy was an awesome jeweler. The guy that was teaching that class, and Randy Hain was his name, and he was. Then he later on left that store. He opened his own shop over there in St. Charles, way down in Maryland, in St. Charles. And anyways, until the deal, because I had the option to buy that corner, fell through, and in that time we were living in Rosemont in a little one of those Sears Roebuck houses, but
Where?
still they on in Rosemont.
Okay.
We have
Roebuck.
purchased a little house there.
Sears Roebuck. I know.
Yeah.
We know that.
One of those houses
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So we, I keep driving back and forth or biking back and forth through that width street, and I noticed that building went for sale. So we apply, and of course the guy that owned the building, Russell Brown, Martin Russell Brown, he was just a wonderful gentleman, because he was a lawyer. He practiced there his law, and he helped us tremendously economically, and he pretty much took us under his arm, because he will take us to dinners and things like that also. But he just helped us a lot with the purchasing of the building there. That, by the way, I just finished a couple of years ago, paying for it. So
Congratulations!
Yeah.
That's huge!
it was
Awesome.
huge.
Wow! Yeah.
He was very, just about 2 or 3 years ago, I finished paying for that building.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I
Wow.
know. So life is good in
Yes!
the United States. Yeah,
Oh.
I know how things happen. So the kids they compete in that world, and they come out pretty good. I mean, Joanna went to Brown, and Lauren stayed, of course, one more year at DC, and later on she went to BU. Yeah, I think she she wished she would have gone to Brown, but you know she didn't want to follow the sisters.
Yeah.
But the parties were at Brown.
Yeah.
You know.
How far back was your son?
He's about 8 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's not even on this in high school yet.
Not
this
yet.
point.
Junior high.
No, yet. He was, flying the kites and,
Yeah.
looking at the fish and throwing the rocks and.
And he wasn't. He didn't end up rowing at all.
No, we will go. When the club opened up in 1989, several members of the club were allowed to bring boats in and so people can use it. They can use it, but also with the some other members also of the association can use them. But so one of the boats that they brought in was an Alden, a double Alden, and I'll put him on the Alden, and we'll take it out and we'll go across the river to close by the Wilson Bridge. We'll go over there and go fishing.
Nice.
Okay.
So I he didn't know he was rowing, but he was rowing.
Yeah.
He was rowing.
What was the best that your daughters did in their rowing competition? Was that at Worlds? That was the best that they. How far did they progress in their rowing career?
The girls that's one of the downs of their rowing career that I think, because right after Lauren finished college, that was when Lauren finished college. They were in great shape. I mean, both of them always kept themselves in pretty good shape and so on. And I think they were, to my maybe I'm their father, but seeing how they row and what their strength was and so on, I think they were considered for Olympics for the U.S. national team. But unfortunately that never happened because I sent them off with some jury to Germany so they can watch the Worlds, and they happened to be in a train accident.
Oh my God.
And luckily, Lauren is the one that got very damaged by it. And
With train accident.
it was a freaky accident.
They
It
derailed
was,
or something?
No, it was they were in a train station, and they weren't too sure about which direction or which train to take, and the train stops. Joanna puts her hand on the door, so the train, so the door jammed the door like an elevator.
Yeah.
And the train start, and she couldn't pull her hand out of the jam. So then you have it's always a very hard, because they in other words they got crashed, and they get very severe damage, and they just hospitals, and it was just an awful accident that happened over there in Germany. It's really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Ooh. I know. Tell me about it.
Well, I gotta tell you, both your daughters are like my idols. I love
you.
when Lauren comes to visit, being able to row behind her, because I learned so
She
much.
was so beautiful.
Just by watching her stroke. Oh, it's fantastic. And then Joanna
very
every
smooth.
morning when she's doing the pull-ups and then on the water, she's so inspiring.
She's very smooth too, very powerful on the water.
Both of them are just amazing.
They are.
Just amazing.
They really are. The amazing thing of that, guys, is that they row the pair, right? Mm-hmm. See how how perfect we are. So they row the pair, and at 28, the defending champions are these two girls from Seattle, from Green Lake, and they're there,
Yeah.
and they're coming, and they're at 32, and these two, you know, are at 28, and they're still moving ahead, and the other guys are bringing it up to 34, and this was here, they just kept it just at 28, and they were, you know, they were just kicking it. You know? And then this is the situation is, so then they take him to the world, to the camp and so on. What do we have? They have the pair, the 4 and the 8. Those are the boats that they present. You know, the United States junior national team was going to show at the World. You know, those, I guess they're the qualifying boats. Those are the boats that they want. Do you think that once one of the coaches put them together in the training?
They didn't.
Really?
Never.
That's unreal. Why wouldn't they do that? Stupid coaches. Stupid coaches.
Not once. I said, did the coach knows that you guys just won nationals in a pair?
Yeah.
And they want you to pair with somebody else or pair somebody else with somebody else, but you are the defending.
Same biology, man. Come on, how do you do that?
They never put them together.
Oh, that's
Explain
unbelievable.
that to me. You know, I said, could you please explain that? You know, how come the guy is not putting it? Well, I sort of mentioned to the coach, and he sort of said, yeah, I bet your dad would like that, huh?
What an asshole.
Fucker.
Really? Oh my God.
That is so amazing. I mean, I was like, that is so stupid. That guy, what's his beef with me? I had no beef with the guy.
Yeah.
You know, he coached St. Andrews.
Huh.
You know, he was coaching St. Andrews girls. You know, D was the coach. You know, I think I started to coach the boys. I have nothing to do with it. But his comment was like, yeah, I bet your dad would like to, you know.
What
Yeah, of course I would like them.
Yeah, of course.
You know, what the hell? You know, I mean, you guys go together the best. You're my kids, we'll go, you know.
Let's go win. Let's do what logically makes sense.
Right.
Put the two
Not even-
biological
So
lineage
much
together.
ego.
Not even once they put them together. So,
Huh.
yeah. And that guy is still
Unbelievable.
coaching out there. You know.
Sadly.
Not the national team, you know. Thank goodness.
Huh.
Because, you know.
There's so much we could get into coaching, but I know it's getting late. I don't want to keep picking your brain, but I do want to touch on a little bit about how you've tried to think about building your life around your family business and then your passion.
You know,
With rowing and coaching.
Yeah, I think I was I don't want to say I was suffocating or something like that, but I was working and working, and I had, you know, my days of soccer had come to an end because
Your days of what?
playing soccer.
Soccer?
Yeah. So I was playing soccer in between, you know, before I start doing
He
the.
never talks about any of this in the mornings.
So I was, I every time I went out playing, my knee, my ankles, you know, something hurt like crazy, and it was funny because we
That's the way I
play.
feel now.
We play once a week. Yeah, but you know, you play once a week, right? So you're like, you finish, you know, you the next day after the game, you're like hardly walk, you know. You sort of get out of bed, you know, you can everything hurts and so on. So by the third day, fourth day, hey, we have a game day in a couple of days. Yeah, you get all excited, you know, like that. And then you go out there and you go,
I still got it.
You know, you pull your back, your knee gives up, and your ankles start swelling. So it's like another, you know, 3-4 days later. Oh yeah, I got it again. So after years of going through that, the club opened up. The Alexandria opened up, and right away I sort of went to see what's going on. So there were these guys there, and I said, yeah, I row a little bit, and they had one racing shell, and I took it out, and so I become a member of the club, and but I was just rowing, pretty much it was just myself rowing the single, but I started to want to race. And the only way that I could get away from the shop and the business was to take the business with me.
Okay.
So I created that rowing line.
Yeah.
So I can take it with me and say, hey, I'm going to work. Sound pretty good.
So you could say to who? Yourself? Your
Well,
customers,
I
or-
said it to myself. I said it to my partner was my ex-wife, and so because somebody had to stay behind,
Yeah.
and run the business because when I was gone, it doesn't mean that I was closing the shop. I had to keep the store running, so that's the only way that I took part of I created a line that I could take with me and say, okay, I'm going to go work.
So would you say that was your rowing was your passion, or just a way to at this time just get away from your business?
You know what?
Or maybe even get away from your ex-wife.
I think no. I think it was as a matter of fact, my ex-wife, her name is Susan, and she was a hell of a good rower. She was a fine, strong, very, very good, very powerful rower. And no, it wasn't that. It was just that I wanted to start racing again. That was a passion. That was
okay. So it was a passion. You were trying
yeah. And eventually, of course, people sort of liked the line that I was showing off and so on. And I was able to sustain my expenses and so on, and bring a little bit of money into the shop also, and that way also allow us to hire somebody else to stay in the shop, and we both could go now.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
and show the wares, and at the same time, go and participate in regattas and row.
Yeah, it's tax write-off too, being able to do that. That's nice. Yeah.
So you'd go and race, and you put up your tent.
Yeah,
and
yeah. There are many races that I have gone that I just I will drive my truck, I park it there, and go row, and of course afterwards I come back and open up the shop and all that, and try to sell some of the stuff, but. I believe it was in 1989 is when I first show the first pieces that I had made in Miami.
Oh wow!
As a matter of fact,
Miami.
Yeah, in Miami.
What was the?
I think it was the Masters. I think it was U.S. Masters.
Nationals or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was the U.S. Nationals, and the next year I went back to Miami. Now a little more with more wares, more stuff to sell, but it was the Worlds, and it happened in Miami again. So 2 years in a row they had Masters, and the next year they had the World Masters.
And did you row in that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I rowed
World
both of them.
Masters. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, World Masters in those days you used to have to qualify. So you have semis or heats and finals. Nowadays you race, and that's a race. That's a final. But in those days they were having they were using the heats and finals progression. Yeah, which it makes more sense to me. Have if you have enough people entries. To have elimination, it was fun.
Yeah.
And Miami is,
tough place.
Yeah, especially that club of Miami is right on Key Biscayne, and the club has a beautiful little pool right there on the. So everybody was. They had the whatever the Jamaican. I don't know what kind of band they had there, but everybody was dancing around the pool, and
That sounds awesome.
It was quite a party, right there. It was fun. It was. But of course, the people, the directors of the regatta, and the people that run the regatta, they were like, "Oh my God, let's finish this." Yeah, they were exhausted,
Kind of like this interview. Well, that's all good stuff, and I love how you incorporated rowing into your business, and it's obviously benefited you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you
And very
look
intentionally.
great.
Very
You're a
intentionally,
lot more fit than a lot of the people on the rowing team.
Well, that's part of the whole thing, is keep fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that's
Yeah.
but the you can get fit and stay, I mean, you can stay fit and so on, but I think when you are competing, it takes you to a different level.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the clarity is tremendous. Is a much more stronger feeling the power or the force that it gives you. So I definitely think that keeping in shape is good because I mean is part of life, and I think that everybody should keep fit. But getting fit and then going into a competition, you're putting yourself into a different level. Than,
You're pushing yourself.
You're pushing
Yeah.
it.
Continually
and-
pushing yourself
yeah.
to a different level.
Yeah.
And that's very important, I think, because
Yeah.
I think the fitness industry in America as a whole is like kind of weak.
Agreed.
It's all about just maintaining or even trying to get to a certain level. Whereas when you're competing, like you said, you have to push yourself far beyond what you think you can really do.
Yeah.
And the benefits you derive from that are really amazing, I think.
Right, and those benefits are precisely the things that only the people that put themselves on that line, they can really appreciate the
It's not just health. It's mental.
well, it's mental health. It's
It's
the
mental
whole-
health as well as it is
it's the whole- it's the
physical
whole
and your
health.
heart
Yeah,
health.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
maybe it seems obvious, but
It's not obvious.
like there's you get really nervous going to a starting line, and
Hell yeah.
being that nervous and then having to negotiate the stakes for like a 2,000 meter start or
And I can't imagine doing that in a single.
in a single
Like that's-
and lining
What, the-
up
the
and,
racing?
and
Yeah,
doing
in a
all
single
that.
like that.
That takes a lot of mental strength to
It is.
Yeah.
to do that.
Because at least
And then-
like when you're with other people in a boat, like you're all in that state and you're all together and that solidarity. But in a single, man, you're out there by yourself.
it's another level of intensity. Yeah.
Yeah.
You sign yourself for the head of the Potomac?
Yeah.
He's in Head of Charles.
He's in the Charles
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So you do it in the mall?
But I feel like I'm broken down. Like, oh, that's another thing I want to ask you. So, like, my body just hurts.
Yeah.
Like, my back is killing
Continuously.
me. Like,
Continuously.
what? How did you ever deal with continuous back pain? And, like,
yeah.
Well, he had knee pain. He couldn't walk.
No,
Okay, how do you
it's true. I mean, I was just telling Yolanda.
Yeah.
I mean that I'm hurting. I'm tired.
Yeah.
But that's why you have those power naps.
Sure.
They help.
Yeah.
You gotta take him. You gotta take him from time
Sleep.
to time. You gotta
Yeah.
take him. Yeah, and also the pain and that. That's amazing because you go from you're like this. You drag yourself to the boathouse, and all of a sudden you're perk again.
Right.
And then you're sitting on the boat and you're
Yeah.
perk again, and of course at the end of it you're totally drained and
Yeah.
you're a piece of cloth.
Yeah.
But in the same token, I mean, just getting yourself up there, and you are so tired, and then you had the best row,
Yeah.
that you have for the longest time, and that's you have to take that through the day to
And
the
hold
next
on.
day.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you have to,
Yeah.
but it's and then of course you have your day of rest,
Day?
one day.
Just one day?
At least you take 1 day. Yeah, it's 1 day. How many you take?
What do you give yourself? Like
1 day.
Well, just 1 day. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you do other things besides row? Other than,
I-
scythe your yard?
Oh.
Cut trees with a saw for real?
1 day.
Well, we go to a Sheng and we'll move dirt around and all
Yeah.
that. But no, I like Sydney.
Yeah, okay.
She does a great weight training and
What
conditioning. Sydney.
She's like does an online videos for
Oh,
lifting and
Okay.
Right now she's doing like
yeah.
3 times a week because she just had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's just doing curl with 25 pounds and all that. Yeah, right.
maybe yesterday we're good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit slow because I just had a baby, so I have to light up the weight. But no, she's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And there's a lady also, Roberts. I can't remember her first name, but Roberts, I think is the last name.
And that's an online video as well.
That's it. She does also just like Sydney every
Yeah.
day. She has a video every day. She produces a video.
Yeah.
But I think they're just compliments and besides that I don't go out for runs or anything like that.
Okay.
Probably will go in the boathouse. We do have the bicycle and the skier.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do that.
Okay.
I would do the skier or the bicycle for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I do that at home. I also have a bike, so I do a bike there at home and watch some soccer games.
Okay.
Can't play it, but I can watch them.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much
Oh, you're
for
welcome.
talking to us. It's been a privilege. And I was wondering if you could give us some Peruvian Spanish, something that you could think of, like, as a last closing.
A Peruvian is Spanish.
Something, I don't know, just some closing.
You got me with that one.
You forgot your Spanish?
Yeah, my Peruvian Spanish especially.
Some salute.
Bueno, ¿por qué no brindamos salud?
Salud.
Por el bienestar y como dicen los españoles, abajo, arriba, adentro, carajo.
Muchas gracias.